Fine.
Hey, everyone.
Hi, everybody. Hi, Daniel, Alex. How's it going?
Yeah, everything is good. Thanks. So we are already live. Let's start our demo day. Today is 22nd of April. This is the fifth demo day of EasyMM, and I'm happy to see new projects. And also, I would love to introduce our partners and jury court here today. So first of all, we do these demo days in strong partnership with InMind, and Nelly Orlova is from InMind here. Hi, Nelly.
Hi, Daniel. Hi, guys. Very happy to see familiar faces here. I know many of you, and also very cool to see new faces. Looking forward to hear your pitches. And special kudos to Laura. Finally, in this brutal men's world, I see also a girl joining these pitching sessions. Amazing. That's cool.
Yeah, thanks, Nelly. So today on our jury court, we have Alex Zlot from
Hey
GGW
guys,
Ventures.
with
Hey,
you
Alex.
all. Looking for pitches. GW Ventures mostly invest in software. They're also looking for blockchain projects and frontier tech. And I'm a venture associate. Happy to meet you all.
Yeah,
Good
thanks
luck,
for the
everyone.
introduction. Also, we have here Haval from Hey Elsa project. They have a great startup campaign right now. So, Haval, hello.
Hey, hi, everyone. Thank you so much, Daniel. Nice to meet you, everyone. And looking forward to the pitches. Happy to share our ELSA experience with all the participants as well. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thank you. And of course, we have Laura. She's also will be in jury court today. Hi, Laura.
Hi guys, we're showcasing next unicorns, companies in emerging tech. We also have a winners fund that we're currently raising for so that we can deploy directly into the winners. And I'm also an origination partner at LDA Capital, where we're doing growth equity investments in via a token purchase agreement.
Yeah, thank you for your introduction. We also have different partners today with us, so thanks for joining. And I believe we can start our demo day. And the first project, like before we start, just one ask, please turn on the camera during the AMA session, demo day session. And if you pitch, be prepared to share your screen and of course, turn on the camera too. So good luck all teams today. And the first project today is Securo. AI smart contract audit firm. So Daniel, please.
Sounds good. Let me share my screen here. Let me know if everyone can see the screen.
Yeah, we can just not see you. Your camera is turned off.
Yeah, the camera is not working. I tried to turn it on, then I get a black screen somehow.
Okay.
But yeah, just let me know whenever you guys are ready.
Yeah, you can start.
That sounds good. So yeah, we are doing AI agentic smart contract auditing, basically comparable to some of the best top tier auditors in the space, but we're using AI agents to do so. So the problem is that right now, traditional audits, they're too slow. They take weeks. They're very expensive, and some of them still misses a lot of bugs, which we can see in a lot of the hacks. So what we're providing is basically a top tier agentic solution that takes hours instead of weeks and costs up to 95% less and delivers the same and sometimes even higher quality than the top tier people in the space. So why now? Is because in 2025, 3.4 billion were stolen and DeFi TVL is close to all-time high. The AI on the attack side of things are scaling, so it costs $1.20 per contract to exploit one, according to Anthropic. and the AI capabilities on the attack side are doubling every 1.3 months. Also, the AI models are ripe. So with the right proprietary framework that we built, we're able to value extract out of all these base models, which we can then get into a bit later here. So with Securus architecture, we have developed a proprietary framework around the base model. So it's model agnostic, where we can prove that the value extraction out of those is significant compared to using base models. So for example, here we did a benchmark based on Anthropic's exploit benchmark called SconeBench, where you basically take the same model and you can see the value extraction is 34% of 90 real world exploits, whereas with ours, it's 92% using that same model. We have two revenue streams. We do on-demand smart contract auditing, and we also plan to introduce continuous monitoring with CI/CD integrations on pull requests, etc., and also a subscription model where we analyze for new attack vectors, and then we go back and we analyze our client base to see whether these attack vectors will then apply to their code and so on. So there's a continuous security there as well. Our team is deeply experienced. I myself have led blockchain engineering teams from 21 to 23. Computer science background that for over a decade. I've done many startups in the last 10 years. And our CTO, he's also been a tech lead on Gen AI at Deloitte, and also been at the sort of pioneering forefront of LLM research and machine learning. We also have some advisors. This is just one of them, but he sits on the board of the DAI Foundation, which is the foundation around MakerDAO, now called Sky Money. And yeah, we have a bunch of other people there as well. So a little bit about our traction here. We launched it in January. In our first week live, we caught a critical exploit in a protocol, and it was patched 12 hours later. So this was missed by 4 prior audits, which was great to sort of a validation of our system. We did the SconeBench benchmarking, which I just showed you there in February. Then OpenAI introduced their own exploit benchmark, where we also performed significantly compared to the base model, where their best model was able to perform with 45.6% compared to 87.7%.
But it was 3 minutes time. So.
Sounds good. All right.
Yeah.
That's it. And we are currently racing.
Yeah, so now we have a 5-minute Q&A session. So guys, please ask questions to Daniel if you have.
Yeah, if I may start, how much are you raising at what valuation, just to let you finish this, right? And then I will have a question regarding traction.
This is something we will share with the interested parties afterwards.
So you're not disclosing the how much you're raising?
Well, not on this call, because we didn't know it was going to be streamed on YouTube. So
okay. Please walk us through your traction, and in particular, how much MRR you've made during the past 30 days, for example. And also interested to know how your pricing differs from other audit companies like Haken, etc. So what's the difference, the core difference here for the end client?
In terms of price or quality, because I covered both. Or what do you mean?
Price.
Well, yeah, as mentioned, it's up to 95% cheaper, and it's comparable quality based on those exploit benchmarks. So that's the beauty of delivering an agentic system for that, essentially. So there are 2 tiers. We're charging below 100 lines of code, it's 3K, and above 100 lines of code, it's 7K for an audit.
And what about MRR?
Again, this is something that we would like to share with the specific investors who are interested, just for privacy purposes.
Okay. Can you disclose how many paid pilots or clients do you have currently?
In total, around 15. And that includes large institutions, includes DeFi projects, it includes banks and things like that.
You said 15?
Yes.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you, Nelly. Any other questions?
I have one. What happens if you miss the exploit and you marked out it is completed or passed any legal responsibilities or contracts? How you protect yourself from that?
Sorry, can you repeat?
In case your system missed the exploit and like you said the system has no more exploits, for example, how you protect yourself from legal claims after that you missed this.
Yeah, I mean, we're not claiming that it's going to catch everything. We are claiming that we are on the forefront of what the AI capabilities can do, and we are benchmarking consistently, and we're improving with the models that are improving. So that's the answer, and it's the same answer as some of the audit firms in the space. There are no legal responsibilities for them to audit smart contract code. They can do it to their best of the abilities, but should something happen, then they are not liable, right? It's the same here.
Okay, thank you.
All right, I saw you also wanted to ask something or not. Okay, so thanks, Daniel. I think we can move forward. Thanks for your pitch. Yeah, if everyone wants to connect with Daniel, just let me know and I will create intergroup. So the next project we have today is Predictify. So yeah, feel free to share the screen.
Hey guys, can you hear me?
Yeah, that's Eric.
Awesome.
Clear.
How's it going, guys? I'll start screen sharing. Can you guys see my screen?
Yep.
Awesome.
Yeah,
I'm co-founder of Predictify. We aggregate prediction market data and infrastructure for both builders and traders as well. So prediction markets as of last year have become CFTC regulated markets, right? So ultimately become real financial markets, but they lack the infrastructure, data, analytics that you have with like other equity markets, whether you're trading stocks, cryptocurrency, you have data infrastructure in place. However, when it comes to prediction markets, they've become these real financial markets that are lacking that. Now, we went live with a private beta back in December. We went pretty viral during a private beta with the Kaushi co-founder, engaging with our content, Poly Markets team, and so on. And yeah, we went live with a unified trading experience. We had real-time arbitrage, ultra low latency on our trading, and proprietary data as well. Now, that being said, this is our early traction. We received a grant from a super team and Solana as well. We've been selected as the top 5 builders from the Polymarket and DeFi Builder Tribunal, where our data has been cited by Crypto.com, Business Insider, Agron Foundation, Polymarket, MS Now, and yeah, about 5,000 plus users, 720 plus traders. We're seeing about 50 odd traders every day on our platform. I believe on Sunday, last Sunday, we had a peak of about 140 traders. One of our posts ended up getting like 200,000 odd impressions on that day. So it went pretty viral. Yeah, about 5 minutes session per user on the platform. On average, over $1 million in notional volume, just doing private beta. Over 1,900 wallets on the platform across all the prediction markets, and 36,000 plus waitlist signups from private beta. We did go live with public beta about 3 weeks back. So ultimately, this is the most updated data we got. We also got $200 in MRR. I believe that's close to $400 now. But ultimately, that's just on subscription revenue for additional tools that we got. We haven't really marketed it. It's just organic. So next up is probably our biggest push yet. We've got leverage trading, we've got paper trading as well, and the parlays and sportsbook integration. Sportsbook integration will be in there in about 2 weeks' time. Leverage trading is completely proprietary. We've got the deepest order book and liquidity on our platform compared to any other terminal. Of course, you guys do your own research, you'll be able to see for yourself. And that's going to be a big push for us when it comes to leverage and parlays. Team Arvin's the CEO, good friend of mine. Previously, he was over a faculty group that a merger with GAF Groups. That's ultimately where me, Parvi, Alex, and him all met. He led the biggest OTC rounds of Syria Near. I was previously at Token Metrics. Prior to that, I worked with EOS, Algorand, and a few other names as well with their marketing when I was with Genzio. And before that, I was a P2P sports betting exchange. We got acquired in the first year of running. Alex, he's a CSO, again, very good friend of ours. He was previously at Offshift. Yeah, I'll end it there.
Anyway, guys, any questions to Tafsir?
I have some questions. Good pitch, Tafsir. Hopefully, I'm saying your name right. Tafsir.
Spot on. Yeah, spot on. Yeah.
Where are you based?
London.
Oh, you are in London. Okay, amazing. I know you mentioned Super Team, so that's quite good. We had an event, our showcase. We had a showcase in January, and the Super Team referred some of their founders. I don't know if you know Chiron from Zinta. He actually won our demo day, and we raised with him. But okay, no. So, what made you start this platform in the first place?
Yeah, it's a fun fact. Me and my friends were terrible prediction market traders. So me and my co-founders were terrible. I believe Arvin, he won't mind me saying, he was losing thousands of dollars on like the most ridiculous markets. He was trading like Katy Perry markets and so on, right? He was losing like thousands of dollars. And ultimately, what happened was we wanted to get an edge. We started building an arbitrage bot just for ourselves, really. We started sharing it around with some friends. And ultimately, once we started sharing it around with our friends and people in the network, they all wanted access. At that point, we started sharing with a few poly market traders, and all of them started mentioning on how we got this arbitrage bot, but when it comes to like deep aggregation of prediction markets, there's no solution in the market at that point. Even to this day, no one's done it as sophisticated as us. And at that point, we thought we got the experience, we got what it takes. Let's just go out and start building it out, pretty much.
Amazing. And what's your ultimate goal with this? Like, where do you see this in the next 2 to 5 years?
Yeah, so like in terms of like the market itself, right? The time, I mean, it's expected to reach $1.2 trillion in annual volume, which is insane. Right now, just last year, it's done $65 billion just last year, right? So they've just become real financial markets. And for us, we're like, these are going to be just as big, right, as other equity markets. We're already seeing, large institutions integrating them, Bloomberg themselves, and a few other big names, right? And when it comes to like leverage trading, when it comes to like parlays, paper trading, all these different functions that you have with other equity markets, right? You don't find them in prediction markets as of yet. It's right in the infancy stage. So we think we'll see how the market develops. There's definitely a few questions on regulation, right? I think that's one of the main concerns. I've told you the good things about us, but the bad things will definitely be regulation. It's still a sort of a grey area. Our team is based in Malaysia, so our core team, even myself, I've actually lived in Malaysia. I'm just over in London at the moment. And for example, in Malaysia, it's a grey area. In Singapore, it's illegal, right? So it's like it's definitely a grey area, but in the US and a lot of more countries are very open to it and have started regulating them. So it's a bit the way we see it is like imagine crypto back in 2020, how DeFi was. We sort of see ourselves at like 1 inch, right? The only difference is that prediction markets are being regulated a lot faster, and that the sort of adaptation is happening a lot faster as well.
Amazing. I won't take up all the time of questions, but I just sent you a LinkedIn request, and maybe we can speak a little bit after. Thank you.
Sure. Thanks, bro.
Hey, Tafsir. This is Rohit from CoinDCX. I had one question. Prediction markets are also, they've also become a fairly competitive space, right? So I'm curious, what's your differentiation versus the others? And long term, what do you think are going to be the factors for success of one prediction market versus the other?
Yeah, so ourselves, we're not a prediction market, right? We aggregate all the prediction markets and infrastructure. So ultimately, look at it as like Uniswap, right? And how they aggregate different chains and tokens as well, or like 1inch did, right? When they went live with their DEX, and then obviously also went live as an infrastructure provider. Ourselves, we don't know how it's going to end up. But when it comes to are we going to be successful through our terminal? Are we going to be successful through the infrastructure? Just started getting lots of inbound from exchanges, funny enough, just literally in the last few weeks. And one of them does $100 million in daily volume. And also, I think I can mention the DEX we're speaking to at the moment. I think it's on live stream, so I might not be able to. But if you message me, I'll be able to tell you as well. But that's like in the closing stages. And these guys all want to be launching their prediction markets. Why would they go with us instead of just Polymarket? It's because if you go with Polymarket, your order books are not as deep. We got much deeper order books as we're aggregating 8 different prediction markets into different markets ultimately. So the way I see it is it's a very competitive space. Yes, I personally do think there's going to be lots of different prediction markets that are going to be winning, right? But the market's going to sort of widen. We're seeing like prediction markets being built out regionally in Latin America, the US, and so on, in Asia. So it's definitely a market that's very open. And for us, we're not competing as prediction markets. They're actually our partners. So yeah.
Got it.
I have a quick one if Daniel, you will allow me, since there's like 10 seconds left. I really wonder, do you plan to cater your data vending services towards mainly institutional investors or to private ones as well? Because as far as I remember, Bloomberg started the way they were catering towards the funds and other, again, established investors. But do you plan to target an independent private one?
Yeah, so initially, right, from day one, our main goal was this only going to be live for institutions. Our big goal is to sell our data to government agencies, right, and institutions. We don't see ourselves as like a competitor to Palantir, but like as an additional add-on of what our Palantir is already doing. If you're using Palantir, it'll be net negative to not use predictified data, right, because you can predict outcomes with it. So ultimately, right now, we didn't plan to go live with infrastructure and providing data feeds and white label solutions until Q4 of this year. We just had to expedite ultimately where we're at just because of the inbound interest for our aggregation tools. So yeah, for now, it's just going to be for enterprises. But I think with how AI agents are going, right, I definitely, we're looking into it. I think Q3 maybe we'll start providing it to like a few sort of high volume traders and trading firms. I think there's about three. I think my co-founder will probably know about this more, but we've got about 3 trading firms that have come inbound in the past week to use our terminal. So like our pro terminal that's not live yet.
Thank you, Tafsir.
Thanks a
I
lot.
think, yeah, we could move on. You also have one question in the chat, so feel free to answer it there. And the next project today is Savitri. So Andrea, mic is yours. Feel free to share your screen.
Yes, one moment. Okay, can you see my screen?
Yeah, we can.
Okay, good. So good evening. I'm Andrea. I'm the CEO of Savitri. Federated learning already works today. More than 200 patents are issued from a company like IBM, Google, Meta, but they have one problem. Just 5% of all projects go to live. Why? Because we don't have the verification, we don't have the compensation, and we don't have the proof of provenance of data. This trilemma is a very big problem because not permit the real adoption for the federated learning. Now today, all business from the government especially, but also from the private like healthcare, like a bank, they are moving in that direction. We can see, for example, JP Morgan. But Savitri is not a new framework for federated learning. It's infrastructure where we can run the federated learning. This one is a very big difference because with Savitri is one blockchain layer 1, and a lot of people ask me why we need one blockchain layer 1. Because the blockchain layer 1 can permit to run in any device the network. We can verify the origin of data, we can compensate the people, and we can trace the data, so we can understand who has provided this data. But how working real Savitri? Savitri is a one network. We have worked about that for 2 years. We can run in any device. We can run in Raspberry. We can run in smartphone. We can run in the single microcontroller ESP32 with just 5 megabytes. But the people inside this device, they can deploy the network. They can train their AI with the data from the IoT or from other provenance, but the data never leave their device. How after if they share this data with the network, they can earn from that. This one is not one project, it is one thing really work today. Today, Astana IT University is 1 year. They pay us $15,000, and 1 year before we have worked together about our testnet. The cost for the single transaction is just 0.00035 kilowatt per hour. We are 10 times less cheaper than Solana. We have 100 times cheaper than Ethereum, and we are 50 times cheaper than Avalanche. And our network today don't have any crash. We have reached 45,000 TPS like a peak, and we have 3,200 with the average speed of our network. But what is it, our network? Our network has inside the token. This token is necessary for run everything. Pay the network gas, staking for the validated data, use for sell and buy the data in the marketplace. But the most important things, we don't mint any data, any token. We just provide.
Okay. Timer is over.
Okay, it was finished.
Yeah. So we move on Q&A session.
Yeah, if I may start, Andre, how much are you raising and for what? So what milestone you will reach with investors' money?
Yes, so now in this moment we are raising our $500,000. That is the first step. That is necessary not for make the technology because I already run today, and also we are also issued we have already our patent in process with a previously patent, but it's more about the communication and for start to make the partnership. Our scope now is to close the agreements. We are speaking in this moment with the government in Kazakhstan because in this moment we are based in Kazakhstan, but our company is not founded in Kazakhstan. We have already started to speak with the governments for start to make some pilot project for managing the data from the hospital and from the oil and gas company.
Mm-hmm. So one more time, when you raise $500,000, what will be the major expenditure? Is it for marketing, GTM, closing government contracts, or what it will
be? Marketing and business development. That is the first step, and after that, our scope is to increase our visibility in the market for after going to our token for our listing in the future. We have already started to speak with some exchange for make that, but for me it's important about the business side more than token, because token is useful, but is the second step. So I want to
so right now your model is B2B mostly, and in order to increase your MRR, you need to hire more biz devs, more sales guys, and talk to more B2B leads, right?
Yes, B2B and also academical, because the university, we have a lot of requests. Just from Kazakhstan, we have 4 universities already interested to use our network. But it's better for us. Kazakhstan is just, we can say, our gym. We have already started in the last year. We went in Dubai and we spoken with Al Maktoum private office and other important players. All of them are interesting, but we need to go there. We are ready because, however, they are big players, so we want to be ready. They are ready to support us, but we don't want to be same like we can say the little player and accept every condition. So.
Okay, thanks. Are there any questions? I don't want to steal somebody else's time.
Yeah, thank you, Nelly.
Okay, if not, I have one more question to Andre. Andreas, can you please explain in one sentence, what is the biggest advantage today of Savitri network over all the existing ecosystems and networks? Just one core.
Yes, our network can run in every single device, from the POS on for the bankomat until the IoT inside the house, until the phone of people. And the cost for run is 100 times less than the blockchain we have today. So we resolve the problem about the energy consumption also.
Okay, Thanks.
May I ask a quick one about what kind of data you collect and who is the person who will provide the device? Is it the clients or anyone in the network?
So the data we can provide is any type of data. And for example, now as an IT university, they are using our network for monitoring 16,000 different 16,000 of the IoT devices for the monitoring different cities here in Kazakhstan about the pollution. About the device, we don't need a special device. Like I mentioned before, can be installed in one single Raspberry. So with a 4 megabyte of RAM, you can run one node, and your node can give the data for the network and run also the federated learning system in the network itself.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Alex. Thank you, Andrea. And we move on to the next project. So Nikita from Holder House, please share your screen.
Hey guys, yeah, I'm Nikita, founder of Holder House. Let me share the screen with you guys. All right, do you see my screen? All good?
Yeah, let's start.
Perfect. Hey guys, I believe most of you are either investors or somehow related to those things. So I believe you will definitely be on the same page with us, because through all these years, we've also been struggling with private markets, because private deals are a little tough thing to not only to access, but to exit, right? Everything is manual soft, manual brokers, manual agencies, etc. It's too many intermediates, and it's a little disaster, right? So, and it's completely liquid by design. So this thing we're gonna change. Doing that, the biggest thing happens finally. Canton network came into play, and this network was crafted by institutions for institutions that fits specifically privacy, compliance, disclosures, reporting, right? And all these rules that applied for dark pools for stock markets. By doing so, we implement the same framework with the same institutional qualities, but for the private capital assets, right? So we're talking about the complete infrastructure that help you from the day one, when you source the deal, when you enter the deal, and then you can exit before all these years happen. So we consolidate the market around those assets and provide you the aggregated liquidity, staying under all these compliance rules. We already operate as a secondary market broker. It's been a while. We closed our first deals, around 15 for now. We have hundreds of VCs in our network and top tier brokers as the suppliers. And we have more than 100K revenue for now. We already agreed with the Hacken, so they would be our general security partner, and we've been approved by Canton Foundation itself for the May cohort as one of the 5 projects that they share each month. And once again, we've been there quite for some years, so we are in contact with all these big names, both from VC side and project side. So that's why we crafted this for you guys. So me, myself, I'm 4 years managing secondaries, closed more than 100 deals. The advisor, Gabriel, he's co-founder of Autoco, maybe you know those guys. And our team based on all the guys from venture capital markets and RWA tokenization specifically. So we are raising today just $500,000 to complete the first public version of the protocol and to get to the next key point in our story, to get first licenses, and to operate completely under regulated rails. So this will help us to expand our team, to complete the first version, and to get initial licensing, right? So once again, we talk about the rails, the standards, and the infrastructure, right? So it operates under transaction fees and the SaaS model of these interfaces, where you as an investor or as a business owner could get what you actually need, either manage your cap table, either manage your deals, and get the most liquid kind of point of contact where you don't need to kind of source all those guys. Everybody would be here. Thank you guys. That's it. Happy to answer your questions.
Any questions to Nikita?
Yes, I have a couple of questions. because it's actually what we also do a bit in our second company, but we don't enter this management of SPV. So I trying to understand how you interact with all of this PC and how you work with them that you mentioned, and do you plan also to move the money by yourself? What legal problems that you need to solve before this?
Yeah, a good question, because you're completely right that the major concerns or the biggest quest for us is the legal side, for sure, right? But since we talk about Canton itself, and you see they crafted this framework and their solution based on the requirements of how the dark pools for stock market operates. That means each party going through diligence, right? It's compliant. Each deal happens with the rules of disclosures and with audit-ready paperwork done, right? Even though that we use these legal wrappers as the holding that you can program what you can do with this asset, right? These RWAs, and this stores on chain. That means all the actual rules we need to be aligned of. Yeah, we do not put any extra to those specific things. So we are not adding any extra rules besides those that exist in real world, right? So from this specific angle, I would say this guy, Gabriel, right? He was one of the first who've been doing these legal wrappers as tokenized LLCs in this industry, right? And my CTO and my CPO and me myself, we also been doing this multiple times for our clients, for our deals. So it's already proven method how we use these wrappers, to represent the holding of some specific assets. And I'm not talking about Web3 SaaS, right? I'm talking about any kind of private capital assets, private equities, right? Because the fact that we use on-chain data storage and these management smart contract things doesn't mean that these things becomes like the Web3 token player game. Now, this is the cool thing. I mean, from the technical perspective, how to store the ledger of owners and how to automate these exchanges or access or disclosures, right? That's it. So from legal perspective, we are not breaking any existing rules. No, we just put into code and program whatever you can do, whatever you could disclose with each parties and what would be the procedure, right? And the paperwork done automatically for you, audit ready.
Thank you. I would like to talk with you later a bit more.
Yeah, let's talk.
Any other questions?
Yeah, how do you see yourself in, let's say, foreseen future at the end of 26 or 1 year later? What is your big vision?
Oh, great question. Thank you, Nelly. So you see right now, we're talking about 5 mil, right? So according to our, where are these numbers? Projections, right? And I believe this is the very, 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 low expectations here, because we talk about how to get to the 100 mil in the next couple of years. And I believe it's way more even biggest achievements we can achieve together with Canton itself, because we much aligned with their core vision of the value, right? So we want to become one of the core players in the Canton infrastructure that, talking about how we can automate these complex things about legal transactions, etc., for security assets, right? And we're gonna collect the biggest players on the market like Hacken and all the others from the legal side, to qualify these for the industry as a standard. So answering your questions, I believe we want to become, the actual standard for the whole industry that gonna be used by all the agencies, all the brokers, all the middlemen, by projects, by investors, right? Because everybody wants to make it smooth, safe, private, compliant, right? So, but it's complex. We're gonna make it easy, automated, and programmed for everybody. So we are not breaking for all of you guys any business model. You can charge your fees, carries, whatever, right? We're not breaking business model for all the middlemen. But now you have all this cross liquidity between each other, right? Magic happens. So I believe this is common sense for those type of things, that they should be digitalized and automated, right? So our goal is to really become these standard for the whole private capital assets.
Lovely. So just to confirm, all those service providers, agency types of businesses that are doing ODC right now, they are not your competitors, they are your partners, right?
Right. And we have more than 50 brokers today working with us, right? And we are not against the agencies or brokers. We are for them, right? How we can be together efficient for end user, for the LPs and for the business.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Nikita.
Thank you,
I think
guys.
your project match a lot of interests of today's investors, and we are ready to move on. And the next project is on-chain bridges. So, Ilan, please share the screen.
Yes, please. 1 second, please. Okay. Do you see my screen, guys?
Yeah, let's go.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Hi, good morning, everybody. Thanks for the opportunity, Daniel, and it's great to see you again, Ellie. My name is Ilan. I'm the founder of On-Chain Bridges. We're building compliant cross-chain infrastructure for tokenized real-world assets and identity on Chainlink, ACE, and CCIP. So today, tokenized RWAs are trapped. I think the previous speaker just mentioned some of those issues. Once you mint a token on one chain, it's really hard to move it to another, and even if you do, KYC, AML, and accreditation usually needs to be redone again. So regulated institutions stay mostly on the sidelines because compliance is bolted on after the fact, not really built into the rails, and this is the gap we are filling. We're a compliant native cross-chain bridge for RWA identity and NFTs, for gaming and regular NFTs. We do three things. We bridge those non-fungible assets across chain. We mint on multiple chains with specific chain rules, and we enforce compliance. We Chainlink ACE policy manager checks KYC and AML before any transfer settles. As you can see from this URL, it's actually live, and you can run transaction on our testnet today. We're backed by the Bitcoin Frontier Fund. We receive grants from Astar and Stellar Networks up to 995,000. Those are already committed. We are in the Chainlink Build program. There's less than 100 companies all over the world in that program. Originally, we started as a rare NFT-focused cohort, but around we are officially RWA identity. We already shipped 10 NFT bridges on our platform, and to illustrate why bridging matters for any non-fungible asset, look at the GADS collection. I've seen one of the investors here that has the GAD as his PFP. A few years back, when the collection was bridged from Solana to Polygon and Ethereum, the floor price of the asset came from 11K per NFT to 19K, shifting $78 million in 2 weeks into the collection. This can happen to any RWA asset that is highly prized. Our team has over 60 years in crypto infrastructure. We're advised by leaders from the Hanwha Venture Capital, Stack Accelerator, and Asta Steering Committee, and OPS5. Those are really good advisors, and we believe we will be able to get a lot of chains and DeFi providers to use our platform. Okay. Yeah, if there are any questions, please.
Hey, Ilan, I had one question. How is this different from any typical bridge? I mean, what are nuanced or specific requirements for RWAs that you are solving differently than any typical bridge infrastructure would?
Actually, we do, yeah. So we created a split contract. So right now, let's say if you have a building in, I don't know, in Hong Kong, and it's $100 million, and somebody buys, 10 million, you issue the token, the RWA token, and somebody buys it, then they have the token, but they do not share the rent revenue from that building. So we created a way for issuers to have a yield token together with the RWA token that will enable the buyer to receive the rent coming from the asset, and they can split the yield token from the RWA token and actually sell it on a market. We actually built a test market like that, where people can actually participate in RWA without investing in the building themselves and enjoy the revenue that can come from the rent revenue coming from the building. And again, as we checked a lot, we didn't really find an RWA railway that allows you to move those tokens quickly, easily, safely, and very inexpensively between chains, and enable DeFi provider to provide capital with those RWA tokens as collateral. This doesn't exist right now, and we created it.
Got it. So the basic infrastructure, Ilan, just so I understand, is it need not be RWA, but anywhere where you need to essentially create two tokens from one token, one being the underlying asset and the other being the yield generating portion of the asset. I guess that's the differentiation versus other approaches.
That's one differentiator. The other one is actually the ability to make your token liquid on any chain that you want, wherever it makes more sense to do it. Because again, I'll send you some information, some test tokens so you can look at the testnet and look at the transaction. It is built in such a way that it creates competition between different providers on different chains to offer you the best deal possible for those RWA tokens, and that makes it better for you, for investors, for people who own those tokens, and also provide liquidity and opportunity for those DeFi providers to participate in this market. So those two things are not really conveniently available right now. We couldn't really find them. I think there are more questions, maybe.
Yeah, hi. Quick question. How do you ensure composability of the tokens across various chains? And yeah, because the liquidity pools would again be missing. And then would these, like, since it's RWA, would you also need to be KYC'd, okay, to access these tokens? I'm a little unsure about the regs here.
So the way that it works is that there is a chaining protocol called CCT. Everything that we do is built on chaining technology at this point. So there is a protocol called CCT, and let's assume that there is, and so when we issue an RWA token, and we don't have to, but if we do, then we issue it on that protocol. So if you have, you bought 10 million tokens on Ethereum, and you actually want to get a loan in Polygon, the Ethereum token get burned, and only then when the CCT signal approves on Polygon, then yeah, it was actually burned and you can mint. Only then we mint the new tokens on Polygon, and it provides a secure way to make sure that there's always the same number of token without inflation, or without giving people the opportunity to scam the system as much as possible. Everything that we do is being, I would say, decentralized and secured by the Chainlink network of node providers. And so many times the transactions are slightly take more time, but are extremely secure, also in terms of compensability. Thank you. A really good question.
Yeah, thanks, Ilan. I see that there is a lot of posts about your project, so I'd love to create chat after this demo day, so you can dive deeper in detail with everyone and discuss what you can do. So we are moving on to the next project and the last one for today. So it's Samex, and Tony, please share your screen.
Jeez, I didn't realize I'm the last one. Hi, everyone. Right, give me a sec.
And can you please turn on the camera?
It's on. Can you not see me? That's interesting.
Yeah, I can actually.
You can? Okay, that's good.
Really?
Cool. Can you see the screen?
Yeah, Daniel, maybe you have a limited number of windows.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, we're good to start.
Cool. All visible. All right, good stuff. All right, cool. Yeah, thanks for the opportunity. I'm Tony. I'm the CEO and co-founder of SumX, which stands for Sum of Exchanges of Sum of Experiences, however you want to say it. And we position ourselves as a super app for all of the crypto sapiens, for portfolio management and many more things. So the reason we actually arrived at this stage, my co-founders and I, we basically saw a few different problems within the market. Crypto is a maze. It's fragmented. There is absolute crypto tribalism going on everywhere. There's very steep learning curve for the newcomers. There's lack of capital efficiency on many fronts, and that's exactly what we're trying to solve by being omni-chain and access agnostic, by being non-custodial for security purposes. We provide direct access to all of the trading opportunities as well as the investment opportunities, and that's both across CeFi and DeFi. Let me just adjust that. There we go. And yeah, our rewards hub is next to none because we actually do specialize in some of the campaigns that I will cover just in a sec. So basically what we allow users to do is to connect any of their what we call bundles, so otherwise sources, whether it's non-custodial Web3 wallets or their centralized exchange accounts. They are able to gain all of the real life monitoring of the performance of their entire portfolio as a whole. And they also get to have direct access to the management tools, things that vary all the way from spot and futures trading on sexes or perp dexes, and going all the way to all sorts of different investment opportunities across your Aave, Pendle, etc., etc., etc. And our rewards hub, something that I mentioned, it's a very special thing that we're really proud of, just because we're able to focus on incentivization and rewards being given out for the actual meaningful interactions, as opposed to chasing the social clout. And right now, we've been live about 7 weeks. We have 65,000 followers on X. We have 250 and counting ambassadors and KOLs of different regions. And we actually minted out 20K limited roles fairly quickly as well. Roadmap goes all the way to 2028. We're basically focusing on all of the trading interactions right now, and then we're going to be going a lot more into DeFi as our next phase. Our core team, a lot of experience in crypto. I was as early as 2017. We have guys from Hacken and a lot of other details we can discuss later if you're interested. That's our ask, 1 mil at 10%, and I'm spot on the time.
So yeah, any questions to Tony?
Clarifying. So you're building a super app and you're trying to combine everything, but what's the core offer for the user? What you're focusing on the first thing to develop?
We already built it. We're live. We're not on testnet. It's not a private beta. We're already live. We have 24,000 users within the platform. Within the first 5 weeks, we had a couple of weeks, having fun with DDoS and blackmailers and all sorts of hackers. So as I mentioned, we are basically focused on all the trading opportunities for now. So we already, from the start, we had a bunch of different centralized exchanges already built into our trading interface. And we recently started to add some of the perp dexes just because, that's the buzzwords apparently. And after that, we're going to be focusing more on the investment side of things. We already have a few investment protocols being natively integrated. However, the variety is not as great as we'd love it to be. But also DeFi is not at its highest point in the market, so we're kind of delaying this for now.
Okay, so maybe I just clarify. Who is the target client who currently most can get value from you?
Sure. Crypto Sapiens. It's as short as that. I'll tell you why. So there are different, like obviously, we can divide it. There are different categories. So if we're talking about traders, we have all the trading functionality to manage a few different, portfolios across different sexes, perp dexes, and so on. If you're a hodler and investor, if Aave is your thing and you haven't read the news, you're welcome to join us. We also have Aave integrated. So, you can directly manage and compare all of the different offers for yield opportunities on the market. Again, if you're new to crypto altogether and you would want to explore and get rewarded, along the way for doing some of the actions, go visit our rewards hub. And you're actually able to do all of those activities in a very secure and streamlined fashion within this same interface without having to go to 20 different tabs, compare here, connect there, subscribe to this, subscribe to that. Everything is built into one super app. And finally, for the projects, there are a few categories of projects that that they would benefit from running their campaigns within our rewards hub. But the biggest one I would say is any project that is trying to get exposure and not to waste their time and money on social clouds. They want to have certain on-chain activities. They want to see certain like actions with their tokens on sexes as well, whether it's spot or futures. We're able to track all of that natively because again, everything is integrated and aggregated within the same system. And that's also our secret sauce because we don't have any registration, we don't have any KYC processes whatsoever. We're not asking for any private data from the users. Yet we're the only platform that is actually able to map out the online presence of a crypto user across DeFi wallets, sex, and socials. So there are a few categories. That's the destiny of a super app, I believe.
Okay, thank you. I'll pass the title to other questions.
Yeah, may I ask you a quick one? Well, as a representative of a marketing agency, the potential of the marketing that can the traffic that can be sourced at your platform is basically limitless, at least as it seems to me. I would love to ask your philosophy on that, however, in order to sustain the user acquisition and not being just a sell for all that you can just buy ads and buy a banner. Would you refrain yourself from excessive advertisement on your platform? Or do you plan to make this reward section as the main source of the marketing for projects, or you are planning to expand to some more conventional marketing means? I mean, the ways you can do targeting on your platform based on the social and demographic and behavioral aspects is just mind-blowing to me. And I really wonder what's your philosophy on that?
The philosophy is as follows. So there is lack of capital efficiency, whether we're talking about money, because there is, too much information, too many offers, and it's really hard to get through them. But at the same time, people and, crypto users especially, they get distracted very, very easily. So we would love to refrain from, the banners and pop-ups and those sort of things. So we're trying to keep it, as professional where it should be, as gamified where it should be. In terms of, our rewards hub being like the main thing for like advertisement, it's not really for advertisement. Like here's the thing, you can go to Galaxy, Zelia and similar platforms. If you want to actually try to advertise, you get, flooded by bots, you get like a bunch of subscriptions on social media. They mean zero right now. So what we're trying to achieve is to say, okay, here's a project that, deserves some highlights, and here's the target audience. hey, target audience, do you want to make a quick buck, exploring a new ecosystem? Because, we already verified that it's all good. There's good functionality. We integrated it, et cetera, guys, here's a match made in heaven. So that's our core philosophy behind, those sort of campaigns that we're trying to run. And then obviously for the projects that are trying to increase their trading volume, to get additional exposure and so on and so forth, there will be some due diligence, obviously. But again, it's not up to us to tell our user base, don't go here, don't go there. We're trying to, it's a bad word, I don't really like it, democratize, right? But that's what we're trying to do. That's, again, one of the things why we're integrating some of the changes, which I personally dislike in terms of the user flow. But that's what our users have been requesting, and that's what we're delivering. I hope it kind of answers the question.
Yeah, it does. It does, certainly does. Especially since some platforms that are like free to use, it's been proven that they're selling the data of the users that they're using the platform. I mean, we all know about TaskOn and the others, and I really enjoy that you are sticking to some other way of thinking.
I'll just leave that here. I saw there was a direct message regarding the revenue streams. Not everything is listed here. We'll obviously have a few more, but yeah, feel free to DM.
Thanks, Tony. And thanks everyone. It's like 1 hour time. Today we can do it within 1 hour. That's great. Thanks everyone for participation. I already see some requests to create intros, so we will do it soon. And good luck to everyone. Thanks our investors and partners. Thanks projects for your amazing pitches. And just like for all who watch us online, I want to remind that next demo day we will run in the end of the May. The date we will announce next week. So follow us on social media. And if you want to be in touch with any project that pitched today, just let us know, and we will create the introductions. So thanks again, everyone. Have a great the rest of the week, and see you soon. Bye-bye.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Thanks, Daniel and EasyMM, for organizing this.